Welcome everybody, my name is Balaj and we have here two beautiful smartphones here from the premium range of two big players on the smartphone market. We have the Huawei Mate 9 on the left and the Apple iPhone 7 Plus on the right side. So great devices in terms of size, camera, and build quality nowadays. Also, since Huawei learned a lot in the last few years and they have beautiful not only a metal body but also now a dual camera system running on their Mate 9 fingerprint reader on the back, which is really quick as you will see in a second, and also beautiful colors to choose from. This now is mocha brown with my fingerprints all over the back, but there is up to 6 colors available here for the Huawei device, and even a Porsche design, which is looking really amazing, stunning, kind of like the diamond black or jet black design of the brand new iPhone that you have seen in ads. Here we have the golden one, and you can see the two cameras sticking out on both devices. I wouldn't say equally on the iPhone, maybe a little bit more, but I would definitely use both anyway with the case, so it doesn't matter that much. So let's start off with the design. As you can see, both have beautiful metal bodies, as I mentioned already, and a SIM card slot. Now for the Huawei though, you have a dual SIM card slot and a micro SD card slot. If you don't want to use the second SIM card, you can use it for expanding the internal memory. Apple users don't need that. If they want to spend just a little bit more money, or actually a lot more money, they can get almost the same amount of internal memory, up to 256 gigs. For the iPhone, you can add 256 gigs extra on here with the micro SD, but you have still internally also enough gigabytes to have even more than an Apple user. So on and off switch, not that thrilling, but on the top we have two interesting things for Huawei: an infrared port, which Apple never had, and now a headset jack, which Apple had until the new iPhone 7. Now they don't have it anymore, so that's just too bad, but they have obviously the adapters and everything else in the box for your headset needs at Apple. But then you can charge it at the same time with the slow and regular charger here with USB 2.0 speed. Now we have here USB-C 3.0 speed for the Huawei, so data transfer is even faster, which is quite nice. Both have one speaker on the bottom, and the other holes are just for design purposes. It's just another microphone actually behind the grill. And then if you check out the other sides of the devices, you can see headset or volume rockers and on and off switch, and obviously still the mute button for the Apple users, which almost nobody has since Apple is or BlackBerry is not that big of a player anymore. So if you look at both devices from the front, you will clearly see that actually the iPhone is smaller in terms of the display, but the devices, when we put them close to each other, are almost the same size. The iPhone is maybe even a little bit higher, but actually the Huawei is a little bit wider by 1 millimeter, and that's definitely something that you won't see or actually feel. So it's great to have a 5.9 inch screen on the Huawei Mate 9 with a full HD resolution, and a full HD resolution also on the iPhone, but just 5.5 inches, so really a lot smaller, and therefore with 400 pixels per inch compared to 370 pixels per inch. It's a little bit of a difference in terms of sharpness, but you won't see it with your clear eye, since Retina display started at, I think, 270, and that's way above that. But the screen to body ratio is 77.5 on the Huawei, and we have here 67 just on the iPhone 7 Plus, so not that great. What will we do? What we otherwise will do here with the devices is, of course, show you the camera on the front and back. On the back, I already mentioned both dual lens systems with the zoom feature, but we have 20 megapixels and 12 here built in, and here only 12, but both shoot 4K videos also, so you don't have to worry about that. You can still shoot with both great videos and actually also great pictures, as you will see in a second. 7 megapixel camera on the front and 8 megapixel for Huawei, so that's also quite good in comparison in a second, which one is better. Otherwise, both have obviously NFC. With Apple, it's a little bit restricted though. And Bluetooth category 9 LTE on the iPhone, category 12 LTE on the Huawei. Those are the small little details that are not that interesting for the regular user. So what we will do is not compare games or anything like that, or other speeds, because you can see here that they are running both really quickly and nicely with 3 gigs of RAM on the right and 4 gigs of RAM on the left side, 8 cores, 4 cores, but iOS and Android are basically a lot different. So let's just check out these cameras and then move on to my final statement. So you have here the two front cameras with I mentioned 7 and 8 megapixel resolution, but a lot better wide angle on the Huawei, where you can actually see my little logo here on my pullover, which you cannot see on the right side on the iPhone. But what you can see if I move my head a little bit around, that the iPhone is a little bit slower in terms of speed when it comes to tracking me, probably because of the face tracking, but it can also be because of the not real light that you have here right now, which just makes it a little bit harder for the camera to get the picture in real time on the screen. But still both beautiful and full HD video capable on the front, but the back is more interesting, and let's put something here to take a picture of. For example, a Sony smartphone, the Xperia XZ, which we also have a comparison of obviously with the iPhone on our YouTube channel, so don't forget to check that out. So if you move around both, you can see looking good on both cameras, but actually the colors look not on the smartphone but all around this cloth a little bit different when we just see here the grains and the sharpness. For Huawei it's a lot sharper here on the front, while on the iPhone the colors are a little bit nicer and more realistic, but you can actually change that easily here with Huawei on the bottom thanks to the ISO and all kinds of other things like auto white balance right now. If I change the ISO, you will see the difference also right away for a low light or any other pictures that you want to take. And Huawei gives you also a lot of help if you don't want to use these settings. You can just make the pro features go away and then shoot also beautiful pictures, but not underwater. That's only happening on the iPhone because it's IP67 certified, so 1 meter deep. Sea water is not allowed, just sweet water for half an hour, also for videos. So what we can do on both though is zoom, and I can demonstrate that by actually zooming in here with just pressing the 1 to 2 times zoom, and I have to do it with 2 fingers here for the Huawei. But what's alright about doing it with 2 fingers on the Huawei is, as you will see in a second when I will do it just first with one device and then with the other, that while I'm zooming the quality is not only amazing, but you have actually an optical zoom, which should usually focus quite quickly. Here we go. Let's try it again. Which has in between the first and the second times of zoom just a nice little optical resolution and looking quite good. And what you don't have on the iPhone is exactly that, because you can switch between the first and the second camera, and you can still zoom between the first and the second mode, but it will only digitally zoom and the pictures won't be great if you are between 1 and 2. That's why they allow you to just press the button to just go a little bit closer and have a nice closer up picture. But I would definitely say both have the same great picture quality, and also for low light, since Huawei enables you to just temper around with the hardware a little bit. And that's already it, therefore, with my comparison. Battery life wise, the Huawei should be better with 4000 milliamps compared to 3000, but I think definitely both will last about the same. And during the day you won't have any trouble if you are not having the display on at the maximum brightness at LTE all day long and playing all day long, so don't worry about that. Thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs, and this was just a really short comparison about these beautiful devices that are out now for similar starting prices, but obviously Huawei will be a little bit cheaper over the time if you want more space internally, and the iPhone won't break if you just let it fall into the water. Till next time, peace out again, and see you guys around.